Thank you all for being patient with me as we go through some technical difficulties.
Heather, you're good. Go roll.
Awesome. Awesome. Can you grab that and share it for me? All right. So let me try this again. Welcome everybody to our Wednesday night Come Alive call. I am Heather Sika Leonard, one of the members of the ER Shred Executive Board, #Shreducator, filling in for Sean and Crystal tonight as they are currently on spring break, but I am happy to do it. And I see you laughing at me, Jesse. It's okay. But anyways, I am happy to be here tonight to host this call because we get to hear people's success stories from the ER Shred elimination protocol. And it's so empowering to see what happens with all of these testimonials and how amazing people are. And Jesse, you're giving me a funny look, so that makes me think I need to go do something. I got you. No, it was a setting issue. So I am excited to welcome you guys here once again. And if I could call on my first testimonial, Chris Ryder. Chris Ryder, I hear you are willing to share your story with us. So if you are here and you want to go ahead and unmute.
Yes, it's actually Chris Rayner.
Chris Rayner, I apologize.
Just so you knew,
Chris.
The names matched.
So Chris, can you tell us a little bit about your journey? Who invited you to the ER Shred?
Absolutely. So I have a friend in California that had been just sample after sample after sample for a year. And finally he reeled me in, got me to try it out. And my first impression of it was through ER Shred. So I've been talking with him a lot, been talking with Bob a little bit, and also Michelle out of Chicago.
Awesome. So where were you before your 11-day shred?
As far as weight?
And your health, how were you feeling?
Health was good, a little lethargic. Weighed 280 pounds, if you can believe that. And I hide my weight well, but it was just really wanting to get the weight off, get the blood pressure down a little bit. Everything else on my vitals was good. But yeah, quite a bit has changed since starting it.
Awesome. And just, I want to make sure we're covered, that we're not claiming, treating, curing, preventing anything. We're just introducing amazing nutrition in our story, which is awesome that I'm hearing. So talk to us about your first 11 days. What did you notice?
So I've completed 2 ER shreds now. I'm officially down 4.5 inches and 22 pounds. And so one of the things that I really appreciated was I became a fan of keto because your skin feels clean, your mind's clear, and I am having all of the same characteristics here. So energy levels are up. I get a little bit lethargic on the cleanse days, but outside of that, energy levels are up, mind's clear, skin feels always clean, and it's just kind of like a euphoric sense.
Isn't that amazing? You have truly come alive, don't you think?
Yes.
So how has it, so you referenced keto. Obviously we're a little bit different because we had that elimination component. So how are you feeling on this lifestyle and living this lifestyle?
Pretty good. I mean, there was a few changes, but you know, I drink keto coffee and love, like we were ordering from Butcher Block every month anyways. And so there was a few little shifts and change. It was more of changing maybe 10% of when and how I do things, which has really helped make the difference. And then obviously the protein shakes, which I'm drinking one now, are phenomenal. They're very filling. That part I have liked. I was drinking water prior, but so it wasn't like a huge hard shift for me, but I do like the fact that the shakes are so filling, and who doesn't like a good steak and some bulletproof coffee?
Right? Steak and butter. That is the way to go. And you said 4.5 inches and 22 pounds?
4.5 inches and 22 pounds down. And I just officially started my 3rd shred today.
Awesome. So that's like a pound a day for your 2.
It is. So What's a lot of times on my normal steak and shake days, I'm dropping about a pound. And then on my cleanse days, I was taking down 1.7 pounds per day.
Awesome. Well, those are incredible results, Chris. And I hear your wife is doing it with you.
He is. So she actually just started her fourth. She's so much more disciplined than I am. And she's only come down about 10 pounds, but she shrunk 8 inches in 1 month. Like, wow. I mean, it's just incredible.
Wow. Just sit on that for a minute. 8 inches in a month.
Yes.
Wow. So what about food cravings? Have you noticed anything change there?
I have not. But I was kind of eating along the same lines before. So I'm not one to grab a piece of cake because I feel like crap afterwards. So I don't want to eat it anyways. So I haven't really had cravings like that. There's sometimes I get a little bit hungry on the cleanse days, but you just pound through it, drink some extra water, and you feel full.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, congratulations to both you and your wife. Those are amazing results, and you're going to crush shred number 3. I can't wait to hear your results.
I am.
Continue. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Carol Hessler. Carol Hessler, are you out here? Do you know how to unmute?
The button. Okay, there we go.
There we go. Hi, Carol. Hi. Welcome. Where are you calling in from?
Hey, everybody, from South Florida.
And who introduced you to the 11-day shred?
Our lovely Miss Susan Rothman.
Love Miss Susan. Love her. She is a great one to have in your corner. Absolutely.
She's the best. She is absolutely the best.
So tell us, what got you excited to try the 11-day shred?
Well, I had originally started the basic Isagenix program just in December of 2020. I had known Susan for a long time. I had originally heard about Isagenix probably back in 2017, but I was not willing at that time. And then more recently, around October, November 2020, a close friend had been getting amazing results on Isagenix, and I had hit a bottom myself, spiritual, emotional, physical bottom in October. I was having some very modest results from a plan that I was on. There's, an hour story I could tell everybody, which I'm sure you can all relate if you're on this call. I won't bore you with the details, but very, very modest results, October, November, December. I started the Isagenix program and I had, great results. And I just clicked with that whole thing. And Susan had mentioned the ER shred and I'm like, I'm not quite ready for that, although it definitely resonated with me. And I have learned so much about nutrition over the past 25, 30 years. But anyways, I was willing in January to do the ER shred. I went forward with it and I just have had unbelievable, amazing results. I just finished my 4th shred last week and I'm going to start my 5th next week.
So what are some of those results that you had?
Well, I'm not a big scale person. I really struggle with that. Although I do have some of those numbers, which I'll share in a minute, but I started in October, I was a size 18 and I'm a size 8 right now.
Wow. That is
I could almost cry. Amazing. I won't on the call, but I could almost cry. I've been struggling my entire life, but certainly for the past 10 years, trying to lose 5, 10 pounds, 20 pounds. I couldn't really even lose a pound the past 7 years, mostly because of willingness, but some other issues too. I'm 59 and I just was struggle. And this plan is like made for me. And everything that Chris shared, the questions you asked, I could answer. The plan just resonates. It serves my body. I feel incredible with the food. All my cravings for sugar have disappeared, for potato chips, all of those comfort foods that I just would crave my whole life, that I've been in therapy about, for God's sake, my whole life. They're gone. When I was driving home from work today, stressful day, I'm like, oh my God, what can I have to eat? I'm like, I can't wait to get home and make deviled eggs. And that's what I had for dinner with my little plate, the plate that Jesse makes on that I see him post on Facebook. I'm like, when he first posted it, I'm like, ew, but now that's what I want. It's just so incredible. I'm just thrilled.
So can we just back up for a minute? I heard 5 clothes sizes an empowerment over food that was controlling you. Is that what I'm hearing?
100%. 100%.
That is what speaks. And I'm watching Jesse's reaction right now, because I can tell this is completely speaking to his soul. And if I could see Susan's face right now, I'm sure she is smiling and glowing for you, because that is crazy, awesome, incredible.
I call Susan every day. I mean, she's one of my closest friends now, and we were friendly before, not to the extent we are now. And it's just, I mean, I'm so grateful every day. And I mean, at my job, people stop me and are just like, my God, what are you doing? And so, I mean, of course I share this all the time, and people are skeptical, but I'm just like, this really has changed my life, you know, in such a short time. It's almost unbelievable, but it's true.
And Susan's getting teary-eyed for you over there. I see it. And that's,
no, she knows me. So she knows.
And that's so incredible. It's just so empowering to hear that this protocol can really have those impacts, and that you're back in the driver's seat. That's huge. Like,
and I go to my doctor every month, because like I said, I mentioned, I started in October with my doctor. I literally went, I don't know if I'm sharing too long, forgive me, but I went to my doctor in October because I went to ask her. She's a holistic physician assistant. And I went to her to ask her to sign off on gastric bypass, because I was like at the bottom. And she's like, I'm not doing it. You know, you're not a good candidate for that. Just give me 3 months. And she asked me to, you know, do MyFitnessPal and help me with macros. And like I said, I started having modest results. So I'm like, I'm not going to do the gastric bypass. And now I started with the Isagenix in December and January. And now when I go, she's asked me, she's like, what are you doing? She literally jumps for joy every time I go and get weighed. And she's like, what are you doing? And I show her the ER shred, and she's like, oh my God, you know, and she wants to know about it. And she's thrilled. You know, and I have lost, I've never tell anybody, I don't even know if I've told Susan my numbers, because I only weigh once a month when I go to the doctors, because the scale just messes with me. But I started at 214, and the last time I weighed, which was almost a month ago, so I've done another shred since then. I was under 170, so I'm probably under 160 now. So
amazing.
And that's it. I'm just really grateful. I don't say a lot on the Facebook. I do want to give back, because I'm so grateful, but I do appreciate everything that you guys post, and just thanks everybody. That's it.
Oh my goodness, Carol, to be able to get those results with food, and instead of going the surgery route, I am so proud of you for taking that control. That is amazing results.
And thanks, Susan. I couldn't have done it without you. Thank you.
Susan's a rock star. I know she's dealing with me every day now too, and I love it. she's open. She's willing to share. She's so passionate about helping people get healthy, and that's why we love her. So I'm so glad she brought you to this group, and I'm so glad that has been your journey.
Thank you so much.
All right. Up next, Miss Jamie Samaro, also known in my household as Friend Girl, because this has been my 6-year-old's girlfriend for the last 3 years. So I'm pushing her a little bit out of her comfort zone and calling her on the spot.
Yep.
All right. There you are, Miss Friend Girl. So Jamie, tell us a little bit about yourself and your journey.
I don't know. What do you want? What do you want to know?
So it's clear that I invited you to the 11-day shred. What is it about the shred that you reached out to me and said, hey, I need to do this?
I was tired of feeling the way I felt every day. I'm going to be 30 in a couple weeks. So I'm like, something's got to give. I got to feel better. There's a lot of health issues on both sides of my family. So I just was like, it's only 11 days. And that's what really hooked me, was it's not those 30-day things. It's 11 days. And it's meat, and I eat meat on the regular. So I was like, this is going to be pretty easy. And turns out that is exactly what it is.
Wait, can you say that again for the people in the back?
It's very easy.
Okay. It's very easy. And I know you have a busy lifestyle as well. So what are some of the things that you've noticed? Because I know you've done more than one shred now. You've been living the lifestyle. Yep. So what are you noticing?
Now I feel so much better. Like even just the shakes in the morning and stuff. I thought I was doing something good. I was eating like eggs and egg whites, like when I'd take them to work in the morning, make them like a scrambled egg type thing and then reheat them at work. But I was still feeling like crappy almost. Like I just didn't feel good. I was like, what is this fog going on? Like, why isn't this going away? And I was like, I'm not eating terrible, but I'm not eating great. And then like lunchtime would come and I'd almost get the same sensation. And wasn't eating the best for lunch because it was either, what I had the night before or, some like a frozen pizza, something quick and easy to just pop in the oven at work and be done with it. And I wasn't feeling good. And then when I started this and doing the shakes, all of that has gone away, completely gone.
That's awesome. So your first 11 days, you want to share those results? Do you remember them?
I do. I lost 8.8 pounds and I think 34 inches total throughout my whole body.
By inflammation.
Yes. I didn't realize how bad my body actually was until doing this.
And I remember getting that text message from you and you're saying, I don't think I measured right. I'm like, yes, you did. That is the power of the shred.
Definitely. I was floored. I was like, this doesn't seem right. Like, I don't know if I'm in the right areas, but no, I definitely was. And I've managed to, during this month, keep it off and be within a pound or so of what I had, what I had lost. So, the inches are right there too. They're almost the same as when I left off on my last shred. So,
and I know, because I know your story, your mindset in this game. I know there was a time during this time since you started your shred that you could have reverted to old ways. And what was that empowerment that you felt that you could keep pushing through?
It was, my uncle had just recently passed, and due to health issues that we didn't even know about, he went in for one thing. And we're just going to put something in. It was spinal fluid going to his brain. We're going to put a shunt in and we're going to be done. But realized like he had like gut issues and colon, like all these different issues. And they did like 6 or 7 surgeries within a week's time, if that. And I could have went back and said, you know what? This is like a really hard time for me. I'm going to just go back. But I was like, no, like I've come this far. I've lost the weight. I've lost the inches. My mindset is where it needs to be. I need to put this in a positive way and be like, there's still so many health issues on both sides of my family. I just got to keep pushing. I got to keep going. Like, I'm not going to go backwards. I've already come this far. There's no point in going back. And it was just motivation for me to keep on going. His death, it sucks. But it's also like a wake up call, and I made a really bad situation into a positive. Like, I don't want to be, he was like 66 or something. I'm like, no, my health is now very important. And ever since, like, I've made all these appointments that I need to get made that I've been putting off, started the chiropractor. Like, I've been doing all these things to try and realign myself and get back into feeling like my best self. And I finally realized I deserve it. And that's something I've always struggled with.
And you absolutely do. And that's what I'm so proud of. Like, watching you go through this journey. And obviously I know Jamie's journey a little bit more than I know everybody else's. So I apologize for that. But knowing the mindset and the game that she is in, and that she came to this ready to go, and she didn't let her mind go back to her old habits. I was so proud to see that. And that is the empowerment behind the ER shred. If anybody else has new stories to share, go ahead and drop a note in the chat box. But I'd also like to see if Kate is still out there, because I know she wanted to give us an update. And then if we have any new testimonials to share. I thought I saw Kate log in. Are you here, Kate? Oh, I see her. She's just not unmuting. Here. I see you. Are you there, Kate?
She froze up.
Oh, no. Aren't these testimonials awesome, Jesse? They make me so happy. All right. Well, while Kate works on her technology, I know Bob, our Shredders United, our second ambassador to the ER Shred, wants to come on and share his update. So Bob, are you out there?
You think I know how to do this? Hey, Heather, how are you?
You got it. That's all right. It's been a night of technical difficulties. We're good.
Oh, no. Hey, I have to, Jesse, I hope you're listening because I have a question for you because I learned something today, or I will learn something today from you. I got my blood test, my final blood test back. And there were many of you who are asking, because everyone's posting what's going on in your body. And is it okay to eat red meat? And if there's anybody who was skeptical about red meat with Sean Escobar, it was me. I was like, I thought he was nuts. And my back, I mean, no disclaimers, not making any claims, but in my family, I have high cholesterol and it's always been a big concern. So I've been told that eating red meat was not something that I should be doing. In fact, I should avoid it. And I'm happy to say that I've been on this now for next week will be 6 months. I never got off the ER Shred lifestyle. I did back-to-back ER Shreds, maybe 2 or 3 up till Thanksgiving, and then took a break, until our December Shred, but I haven't missed one. And I can just tell you, as I was telling Chris Rayner tonight, I mean, it just gets better and better and better the more often you do it. And Jesse was absolutely correct in everything he told me, because in the beginning, I was a pain in the ass asking him all kinds of questions. But Jesse, so I got this email today from my doctor, and they made the comment, where did it go? I hate how we get so many emails. They made the comment that my LDL, you have excellent LDL. In fact, it's fantastic at 73, whatever that means. We want it above 40, but above 60 is considered cardioprotective. And I've never heard of that statement before. So everyone was asking, so my cholesterol is best it's ever been. My HDL number, as this doctor just pointed out, is the best it's ever been. And I'm supposedly cardioprotective, whatever that means. But the bottom line is I was talking to Dr. Glenn Nozak, who I'm going to have on tomorrow night's call. And Dr. Glenn said the same thing. I have just never have felt this good before. And I just have to say that give it a try. Give it, you said 11 days, see what happens to your body. If you're a doubting Thomas like me, get your blood tests eventually. Let your doctors tell you what's going on. But I am totally, Jesse, blown away that following this simple methodology and this way of life, that for the first time in my 59 years, I have not only just normal cholesterol, but my doctor's calling it excellent, but it's fantastic. And I've never had that happen before. So that's my share. And I wanted to thank you guys. And Jesse, keep rocking it, man. I mean, I will do anything except for run a damn Georgia death race. But anything you tell me to do, I'm up for it.
What, you don't want to do the death race with Jesse?
Maybe one of these days, but no.
But I mean, I'm hearing 6 months. That's not a short-term thing. This is a lifestyle that's easy to embrace. It's easy to live. And I know that I'm loving it as well. I'm not quite as far into it as Bob is, but this lifestyle has made it that it's so easy to maintain.
But here's the crazy thing, and Bonnie Perkins, there's a lot of people on who have been here longer than I have, but I've been doing this for 17 years the traditional way. So for me to have these results with this tweak that we've had with incubating the shakes and the bone broth, and of course with the elimination reset, it's mind-blowing that it can take it next level, not just a little bit better, but just quantum leaps better.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
And we're all looking younger. I swear to God, I don't know what it's the butter, but hey, I mean, that's amazing in itself.
I'm okay with that. I'm just scared to open the butter door when I substitute for Sean and Crystal because of what happened last time. So thank you, Bob. I appreciate that update. I think Kate made her way back to the call. Kate, if you're out there.
Hi, sorry, I was having connection issues.
That's the story of my night. So Kate,
I was like, of course that would happen right as she calls on me, so.
It's all good. So Kate, tell us a little bit about your journey and your continuation on the shred lifestyle.
Okay, so I'm going to update for my whole family since we've done it together. So my husband and my son. So I'm going to add to Bob because my husband has genetically high cholesterol and he's always been in like the 350s. And he went in and had his levels checked and he was not taking any of his medications anymore. And he was doing the shred because he wanted to just see how his overall health would be. And just like we had a lot of brain fog and we were tired all the time. And we woke up just feeling exhausted. And anyway, so he went in and his levels went from, I think 340 something to like 280. And he's done, I think this is we're doing one in a week. We're waiting for our products. That's why we didn't start with everybody, but it'll be our 4th shred. And he has dropped, I think like 31 pounds. So he's where he wants to be. I dropped about 16 and put on muscle, which was my goal. And my 10-year-old son, he has been able to drop his weight, keep his weight down, and his cravings have substantially changed. So where he used to want more like breads and carbs, that's changed. And then I have to just say, I did splurge and I did eat some cheesecake for my birthday, but I felt so sick all night. And I was like, that was so not worth it. But to be fair, I'm like, we all have to have a moment of doing that to fully understand how amazing the shred actually is. Because if I didn't have that comparison, I really wouldn't know, when you go back to something that you used to eat and then you don't recognize that feeling because you haven't felt it for a while. Mm-hmm. And then you go back to it and you're like, I don't ever want to feel that ever again. It's not worth it.
And I can agree with that. It's like, well, I used to really love that and it tasted so good to me. So let me treat myself. Notice how I'm using my words carefully. So, and then it all of a sudden tasted like crap. I'm like, that's not the taste that I remember.
It's not worth it. You eat like 1 or 2 bites, like, which is what I did. I had 4 total. And then I just thought that wasn't even satisfying, and my sisters were like, what is like, you're so strict. And I'm like, no, I'm not strict. I like the way that I feel. And I don't ever want to feel that again. And all night long, I was like, just tossing and my stomach was just not having it. And so for me, it was just like that, like added factor of just recognizing like, wow, I really now know. Cause I started my first shred January 4th. Mm-hmm. And so since January 4th, that was the first time I've had like a cheat, shall we say, and a treat. Yes. And I will say that like doing that and then recognizing how good I felt, I think I needed to have that of my own personal experience to go through that. And I'm usually like super strict, super dedicated, but that was just another indication that I really didn't want to ever go back to what I was doing before the shred. And so even though I knew the shred is a lifestyle for me, I think that was a double aha, like, oh yeah, I'm never doing that again. And so that was huge for me. And it's been huge just to like watch my son feel empowered and to just really see like a change in like the appetite. Like you don't have an appetite for things you used to want. So anyway,
that's so awesome. And I am so excited for you and your husband's results, but I am so excited for your son coming on this journey because it's scary what some of our kids eat. So for you to take control of that and help him empower himself to do that just as a mom, that just speaks to my heart so much. Cause I know my son has been on these shakes since he was 2. I think he would have a half shake twice a day since he was 2. And then now he's to 2 full. So I just know that the power we have, because the sugar addictions and the carb addictions, they're real things. And our kids are like, they're just inundated with the advertising and the pictures and everything we can do to get them on these addictions. So I have a lot of props to him. I remember him coming live and sharing his story the first time.
Yeah. And it's crazy because I mean, he's a kid, he's 10, he has friends who eat pizza and he goes to football. And so there will be times where he'll still like indulge in it. But the coolest thing you can teach your kid, and why I love teaching him this, is it's like intuitive eating. He's learning to listen to his body, and he's learning, I don't like the way I feel. Because he even said to me after he came home after eating pizza, he was like, ugh. And then he's more hungry. And so you can tell that like, he just wants more crap when he eats crap, and he's recognizing that. And so as a mother, to like be able to empower him to make his own choices and to listen to his own body is probably the biggest tool you could give your kid.
That is so awesome. So thank you for sharing that. We do have one more update, and then before we kick it over to Jessie, Miss Susan Rothman, I hear you are, you never shared on our testimonials call, so you are coming on to tell us your shred story.
Yeah, so, well, of course, like everyone, in amazing call tonight, by the way. So in October, I started seeing Sean everywhere, and I was like, what is going on? And I wasn't really skeptical. I was just like, what? And I had already been using the products for about 13 years. And then it comes 2020, my activity level was less. We were home more, gained like anywhere between 4 and 6 pounds. And sort of like sometimes in life, you get in this place where it's just like this lull, you know, like not highly motivated, just lackluster. And so I decided, okay, I'm going to do the shred. And my first 11 days, I lost 8.5 pounds. And I would be like, I've had a set point, which I'm relatively lean. And I've had a set point for the last 10, 15 years. If I got below it, as soon as I ate anything, it was back. And I could never maintain that. I weighed less than I ever have in my life. The other thing that's interesting about this is even close to the weight I am now, I would look emaciated and sunken in. That didn't happen. So I retained my muscle. And because I have a science mind, I also have an autoimmune condition. I'm not making any claims, but my blood work is always pretty good, except I have these antibodies. So about 1 month after the cleanse, I did some labs. My antibodies came down. Everything was perfect. And then just in February, I did full-on labs. And I was curious because I thought, okay, I'm just eating meat and butter and salt. So what are my vitamin levels are going to be? Because I also stopped my supplements on the tread. So what are my vitamins going to be? I was very curious to see if my antibodies came down even more lowest than they've ever been. Well, they came down lower. My insulin was gorgeous. All my vitamin levels, my cholesterol went down, total 30 points. My HDL went down, went up 5. My LDL went down 15. My triglycerides in half. So to me, and then my doctor too was like, what are you doing? But the biggest thing for me was my brain. I could not believe, like, feeling so lit up, so energized. And that's what's happened now. Energy all day long, steady, no crashes, no needing a nap. You know, my skin is vibrant, my energy level, everything. So yeah, I never shared, but my initial was 8.5 pounds, 2 inches just off my waist.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That is shred for life.
Absolutely. And I have to say too, I have seen you come to life. You've pushed yourself out of your comfort zone, and I just see that energy shift in you, and I love it. That's
a whole other thing. It must be the meat, because I'm seeing not just me, like people that I've been working with, and they would never post, do this, they're showing their stomachs, they're posting their, and for me as well, I was talking to a friend last night. There's so many things just in the last month that I've done that are so out of my comfort zone. But that's what happens when you find passion. So for me, it's about, you know, I had great results, but watching all of you guys, I'm like, oh, come on now. You know, this is something that people need to know. We do, and it's time to take it back.
Absolutely. And I truly appreciate you sharing that with us. And I want you all to know, while you may not see Susan much, she'll start coming live soon. I'm challenging her for that. But behind the scenes, Susan has done so much work for this ER shred. So we also want to make sure she gets a huge shout out as the first member of our medical side of our executive board, Miss Susan Rothman. Thank you for being brave tonight and sharing your story with us.
Thank you, sweetheart.
So thank you for all of the amazing testimonials. We've heard some great results. We've heard sizes, inches, brain clarity, all of these things. So now it's time for our first ER Shred ambassador to talk to us about the ER Shred protocol and kick it off for us to help us understand why this is working for all of us.
What's up, guys? Happy hump day. I just want to say, Susan, you're actually still unmuted. I'm going to keep going with you. So for those of you that don't know, I have known Susan for the last 6 years of my life. Susan, like Sean, was one of the first people that I actually got connected with when I found this nutrition. And she has just been a blessing. You know, we've built a relationship, you know, like life, we fell off a little bit, but always stayed connected. And Susan is literally one of my mentors. Like, you know, I mean, I don't think you guys realize the value that she brings. And when Heather says she is pumping behind the scenes, like, let me tell you something, she is pumping for you behind the scenes, always making sure, like, she's my go-to. Like, if I need to verify or check or even just like be like, okay, am I like really out there? Or is my friend Susan going to back me up? Like, she's the one to set me straight. So I just want to say a big, huge, huge thank you to you, Susan, for trusting and believing. You know, it's great to talk about it now, but to actually have the courage to step up and say, okay, I'm in, especially when you've spent your life helping people in holistic nutrition, in functional medicine, and then we go absolutely the opposite way of what conventional teaching teaches us in our books and in our science today. You know, kudos to you, Susan. And I've told you this before, but I cannot think of a better person to be side by side with as we drive this. And man, look at what's happened because we said yes, right?
Yeah.
Look at the lives. So
thank you, Jesse.
I love you to death.
I love you
too. I love you like a sister. So they were another person. There's not many, but I would take a bullet for you any day of the week for sure. So all right, folks, let's do this, right? Let's keep this real simple. We, you know, every week after week after week, we hear story after story after story. It doesn't matter if you've noticed, we hear from, you know, children's stories. We hear, you know, 20s and 30s. We hear 40s and 50s. We hear 60s and 70s. I've always said that age is just a stupid number. Age is a stupid number, and it doesn't define who you are. The human body is the human body. We are made up of 100 trillion little circles. That is all we are. Those trillions of little circles are cells, friends, and those cells need vitamins, minerals, and nutrients to thrive. And unfortunately, the way that we have shifted over the last 60 years, we have gotten less and less and less of that. The ER Shred, as you all have come to realize, is not a diet. It's not just an 11-day protocol. It's not just some fad. This is a lifestyle empowerment movement. This is putting you back in control. This is allowing you to do what I think every human being has the ability to do, and that's be your own best damn doctor. We have given up our power long enough and being told who we are, what disease we're classified as. And I say, slap the gavel, bullshit. I'm the one that's going to now take those reins, and I am going to determine my life because I'm back in control. And in order to be able to do that, we have to have an aha moment. We have to realize, we literally have to be slapped across the face to wake up and realize, you know, just how powerful food is and just how amazing our bodies are. I think some of us have gotten to a point year after year, we just get worse and worse. How many of you, raise your hand so I can see, how many of you got to a point in life where you just kind of chalked it up and you were like, oh, it's just because I'm getting older. Oh, it's just because, you know, and we fill in the blank. We made up this excuse. Why? Because we listened to everybody else. We listened to doctors and nurses who weren't even in shape themselves, who were struggling themselves. And it's not their fault, but you have to understand that you go to nutrition school and you are taught government-fed nutrition. Well, I think that it's safe to say the government has its head so far up the cattle's ass that it doesn't realize how amazing good quality meat is, for crying out loud. I think we can all agree on that, right? So the ER shred is so simple. Let's break down the 11-day protocol. It's an elimination, reset, shred protocol. One of the things that I think is so powerful about this is the elimination aspect, because what we have to realize is that every single bite of food you take, literally every bite of food you take, is second you put it in your mouth, it talks to your cells. Not in an hour from now, not when it gets into your digestive system, not when it gets into your gut, literally when it touches your lips. Most people don't even realize the saliva that's produced in your mouth when you start to chew, that starts the digestion process. That is literally breaking it down. You know, really, if you want to get technical, we should actually chew our food 50 to 60 times before you swallow, they say. Yeah, go figure, right? Who does that crap? It's like chomp, chomp, swallow. But really, that's how it goes. So if you start to understand and put these pieces together, you realize that every bite of food you take has the ability to either put you in pain or make you feel a little bit better, right? Not instantly, obviously. It takes time depending upon where you are, but that's the choices that you make. Food has that ability. And when I had that aha moment, it was great. The elimination aspect of this, we attack chronic inflammation. If you are inflamed in any way whatsoever, which is like 90% of the population, we have chronic inflammation running through our body. And really, what is that? Inflammation is tough because it's a double-edged sword, right? We have regular inflammation, and then we have chronic inflammation. Regular inflammation is you cut your finger, you sprain your ankle, you get, you know, your body swells up, that burning sensation. You've all felt this and experienced this before. That is positive inflammation. That is your body healing. That is what your body's supposed to do. You get hurt, white blood cells come rushing. They're like the knights in shining armor to come and save the day. The problem is with low-level inflammation, chronic inflammation, your immune system never turns off. Never turns off, right? So your body's constantly sending out these white blood cells. Now, what's happening with that is you are constantly under attack. Your body's literally at war with itself inside. So if you're inflamed and your insulin's out of control and your hormones are all out of whack, good luck exercising that off. Good luck just counting calories. Good luck just doing any of those things. It's not going to work. So the elimination protocol is like Susan can tell you, it's the platinum standard in identifying food allergies. But unfortunately, what we've seen through practice of years and years, it's not powerful enough in the way that it was done to actually make that change. Right? Because one of the things that we're always talking about is we're just like, can you believe the amount of people that keep coming back and coming back? Like, it still shocks us because it's never happened to either of us in 20 years of doing this. And Susan has many, many more years than me, but it's never happened before. So the elimination aspect is, guys, we are eliminating all of the stuff that's actually not food. All of the stuff that we've been lied to believe that it's food. Twinkies and yo-yos and ding-dongs. If you eat Twinkies, you have Twinkie cells. If you eat ding-dongs, you're a ding-dong. Do you understand? If you eat cheap and fried and fast food, you are cheap and fried and fast food. Do not expect different results. That is the harsh truth. I am happy to deliver that to you. But as you start to realize that food is powerful, real human food, not chemical concoctions, not processed things, not loaded with sugar, not full of pesticides and herbicides, those are chemical form. Those are like aliens to the body. Aliens. The body does not know how to process that. So it stores it inside of our body. It stores it in our fat cells. That starts to create sludge. It starts to create damage over time. So the elimination protocol, we strip that all out. the carbs, the soy, the gluten, the pesticide, you know, we get rid of all that stuff, right? I can't say pesticides and heavy metals. Let me back up and apologize for that. If you take a deep breath and you just took in heavy metals, but we put under control what we can control. We stop putting in the stuff that is attacking our body, okay? And we eliminate all of that stuff. So when that happens, we are going after two things, really. These are the two most important things. We're going after inflammation, and we are regulating our insulin. Listen to me, friends, those two things, if you can control those two things, and you consistently control those two things, the main word, say it with me, consistently, that's the key. If you consistently control those two things, you are well on your way to amazing health. I promise you that much. The second part of this is the R, right? That's the reset. And this is very, very important. You know, you can't, those of you that have dieted before, you can't just do one thing. One thing doesn't work, right? Health doesn't work that way. It's a combination of everything. So the reset is absolutely amazing because we leverage amazing published research, something that, you know, the company we partner with, Isagenix, has been doing since 2002, way ahead of the curve, by the way, right? We leverage cellular intermittent fasting. And the amazing benefits of this are mind-blowing. I'll share a few with you. You are going to regulate your hormone levels. You're going to regulate things like serotonin, ghrelin, those are hunger hormones. You're going to regulate your insulin levels. What does that mean exactly? That means that when you eat food, okay, there's something called the glycemic index. And the glycemic index basically states that how fast does that food that you eat turn to sugar inside the blood. So when you eat something like white bread or even wheat bread, yes, wheat bread, hear me right, and processed things or potatoes or starches or candies or sugars or anything to that nature, pastas, right? You know, your blood sugar level is going to spike through the roof. And when that happens, your pancreas instantly releases insulin to try to control those levels. You see, your body doesn't like to be out of control. It has to be balanced, right? So when we're eating those foods and we're doing that, that's the power of those hormones. Insulin is like the main hormone inside the body. So if we can start to regulate that and control that, and we start to hit that at the 24-hour mark of our cellular intermittent fast, absolutely amazing things start to happen inside your body. All of these amazing testimonials, they still floor me. I still get goosebumps and I'm chilled, but I am not shocked. I'm not shocked because I understand the inner workings, and this doesn't surprise me that this is happening to people, because when you fuel the body for performance, the human body is magical. You are magical. You just gave up on yourself. You didn't believe in yourself anymore. And it's not even necessarily your fault. You've been lied to. You've been pumped bad information for so long, and the time has got to stop. Too many people are suffering, and there's no need for it. There's no need for all these drugs. There's no need to pump people full of pills. There's no need. Now, is there a place for some of it? Of course there is. We'd have to be naive and stupid to say that there wasn't. But there's too much of it. There's way too much of it. And you're realizing that you have that control. So that reset is absolutely amazing. It's great for brain fog. We go into what's called autophagy, which is where your bad, sluggish cells, your folded over proteins, the healthy cells eat the bad ones. Listen to me. Why would you not want that happening in your body? When your cells duplicate thousands of times a day, they're constantly multiplying. But when you restrict the calories and you take the energy away from that process, the body then goes back inside of itself and it starts to heal. And this is all of that process. We utilize, you know, we're not a flushing poopy cleanse. We're a supporting fasting cleanse. Okay. So we are taking in these amazing botanicals and nutrients and vitamins, and we're supporting the body to do what the body was actually designed to do. But it can't do that if it's full of crap. Hence the elimination, hence the reset. There is a method and a madness behind this protocol. I promise you, it didn't just come out of nowhere. Okay. So that's the reset side. And the shred side of things, Heather, is, you know, really so much. It's actually not just about eating and shredding. It's not about getting shredded, although that may be your goal, and that's perfectly okay for you to have that goal. But I want to encourage you to think a little bit bigger. And the shred side of things is really more about what is it that do we have to shred weight? Do we have to shred, inflammation? Do we have to shred all that bad stuff? Yup. But what else are we shredding? Are we shredding disbelief in ourselves? Are we shredding bad people, bad toxic people, which are super bad for our health? Are we shredding, past memories, right? I'm still working on that. Things from childhood. What is it that you're shredding? And when we're shredding, all that means is we're fueling the body for performance. We're giving the body everything it needs. We utilize these macronutrient balanced meal replacement shakes. We utilize an incubation process. It's more satiating. It delivers more nutrients and vitamins and minerals. The quality of the protein, it's balanced out. It takes the guesswork out. It's good for any lifestyle, busy, non-busy, doesn't matter. But the shred part of it is teaching people what to actually put in, and then also what to get out. What to put in and what to get out. I think it's really that culmination of everything that comes together, that it is that's going on. And we have other amazing things that we utilize, like collagen bone broth, type 1, type 3 bovine collagen. Collagen's the glue that holds the body together. Hello, hair, skin, nails, hydration, cellular hydration. I could go on and on and on, right, Susan? Joints, bones. Gosh, collagen is just insane, right? Having that, we cover sleep spray because sleep is a part of everything, the holistic approach to things. We have our electrolytes because we don't want to be, imbalanced. We got to make sure that our electrolyte levels are on. We don't want to be dehydrated. So we've covered every aspect of what we need for everybody to be successful, but we've taken all the guesswork out. It's the 11-day protocol is simply your tracks to run on. You just get on the train, you show your ticket, and you follow the schedule. That's all you have to do. Literally, that's all you have to do. If you make it more complicated, that's your fault. That is your fault. That is absolutely your fault. If you just follow the program, you are going to absolutely smash it. And I have zero doubt in my mind that you're going to experience this euphoria feeling, and you're going to start to have results like Bob talked about. And Bob, I sent you a message, but I want to teach everybody what that means. Your doctor gave you, what the hell did he say? Cardio protective or something like that. All that means, it's just that these guys make up all these crazy words. I'm just like, what the hell? Like, why don't you just tell the guy that he's doing a great job and he's protecting his heart and his arteries from disease and malfunction? Like, wouldn't that be simpler so everybody can freaking understand? Like, that's what they do. They try to confuse the shit out of you so you pay them more money, for crying out loud. Like, I would just be like, kudos to you, Bob. You look 15 years freaking younger. You probably got this more figured out than I do. And by the way, your heart is probably half your age now, and you are protecting that main vessel that you need to live, for crying out loud. Why can't we just keep it like that? Nice and blunt and simple. Right? Susan, am I right with that? Is that pretty on point? Yeah, okay, good. See, Susan,
yeah,
my
cardio
protective,
right?
I go to Susan to make sure that I'm not crazy. He's doing awesome, right? He's freaking crushing it. Look at the guy. Like, he's literally reversed in age. Go look at a picture of Bob at the beginning and look at a picture of now. Absolutely. And there you go. What other science do you need? There's no science. Here's the results. Like, back in October, if you told me I was crazy, I got you. I understand. We're going against conventional stuff, and let's just touch on meat real quick too, because I want to touch on that. Meat. What people don't understand is red meat, good quality grass-fed beef. People are concerned about, oh, I'm not going to get my fiber. I'm not going to get my vitamins, my minerals, my nutrients. Do you understand that eating an animal-based way is actually more bioavailable? And what does that mean? It means that you can simply absorb more of the nutrients that you're putting into your body, right? So it is more bioavailable than if you were eating the old school way that we were plugged to think that we needed. I am thriving with such little amounts of that stuff. And I used to literally be Johnny Jackrabbit, right? With like mounds and mounds and mounds. And all I did was have massive gas every day and bloating. And I actually I lied to my daughter, and she goes, Dad, you stink. I said, Kaylee, I said, if you don't stink, you ain't healthy, baby. I actually thought that that was true. Like, I literally thought that that was true. Like, isn't that crazy? And I was taught that. I paid thousands of dollars for that information. What the? My God, that burns my butt. Anyways, right? So here's the best part of this. So we have the elimination. You know how powerful that is. We have the reset. Absolutely amazing. We have the shred. We're fueling the body for performance. We're giving ourselves rocket fuel versus sludge. When you eat that other stuff, it's like literally, it's like drinking oil. Like if you drink oil, your body's not going to work, right? Well, that's pretty much what you put in your body. Chemicals, crap, oil, all that kind of stuff, right? And then, oh my God, the most important part of this thing is this community. This community. Where do you even begin, Heather, with this community? I mean, the quality of people, the people that show up, the information that comes in. If you fail, it's your own fault. If you're doing the ER shred and you're tapped in and you show up every day, you got to show up every day. But if you show up every day and you just follow it and you tap into this community, if you're not inspired, if you're not motivated, if you're not ready to push bigger, maybe you might not relate with me. I get it. I'm a little out there. I have screws loose, but you got me, you got Heather, you got Susan, you got Bob, you got April, you got Bob, you got, Lisa, you got all these people, Melanie, you got all these people that can relate to you. Like, what's your excuse now? You can't say that you don't like me. Go find somebody else that can help you and motivate you. I don't care who it is, but if you can't make this happen, that is your fault. And this community is the most important aspect of the ER shred, and we give it to you for free. I don't think people grasp that value because we give it for free. But to put it in perspective, if you went to see, let's say, a functional medicine practitioner, mind you, insurance doesn't cover that type of stuff, by the way. If you went to see one of them and you're paying out of pocket and you have these issues and you want to go through an elimination protocol and you got to keep going back to the office, do you realize this is going to cost you anywhere from like $7,000 to $10,000+? And you're only getting access to this one person. You have access to everybody. You have access to holistic nurses and functional doctors and RNs and cardiothoracic people. And I mean, it's endless. The people, the teachers, the financial guys. I mean, every walk of life is part of this group. 22,000 people cannot come together on a massive plan and all lie, for crying out loud. Like it's just impossible for that to happen. So there's got to be some truth in what's going on. And I know so many of you can verify and say that if it wasn't for the community, you probably would have given up. And I've always said that, like when you go on a journey, which is what this is, it's a journey, you need a team, you need a support system, you need some sort of structure, because I never said this would be easy. I said it would work. Anything good in life, anything worthwhile is going to take a fight. I posted something the other day and it still sticks with me. And I'm like, everybody wants to live on top of the mountain. But what you don't realize is that all of the fun and all of the journey happens as you make that climb. And we always forget about that climb. And to be part of a team and be part of that community and have that is just absolutely freaking priceless. Priceless. So that's what I got for you tonight, friend.
On fire as usual, Jesse. We appreciate you for this community, and I agree with you. Is it easy? No. Is it easy to follow? Yes, because the protocol has outlined it. But if you are not tuned in and asking your questions, then I agree with you that the community is there. Everybody's there to support everybody. So yes, it might not always be sunshine and roses, right?
And I say that, Heather, I say that for the new people. Every time I do this, it's really for the new people, right? So if you've heard me a million times, like this is really not for you. And I don't mean that in a bad way. It's for the new person. And I've always want to tell people that. But let me tell you something. If you go to the point of like where I'm at or where Bob's at, like it's a no-brainer. Like you don't even think about it anymore. I mean, the simplicity, like if you would understand how many hours I used to take to meal prep and get everything ready and count things and through all the other programs I've done. I mean, what I do now is just, I mean, like seriously, like my child can figure this out. Children figure this out. Like it's that simple, right? So it gets easier and easier and easier as we go. But in the beginning, you know, nothing good is going to be easy, right? Like we gotta pay our dues, we gotta pay our taxes. But I promise you, it's so worth it because health is our greatest wealth.
Absolutely.
Health is our greatest wealth.
Absolutely. And yeah, that's where I was going, is it gets easier once you trudge through because you've had the 30 years of destroying your body and all that. So On Fire, as always, a great big thank you to you, Jesse, and to all of you who were brave enough to come on and share your stories. That's all we've got for tonight. So if you guys want to unmute and say thank you and have a good night, go right ahead and say
everybody.
Thank you, Heather.